From Walt Whitman, the 19th century American poet, "To me, every hour of the light and dark is a miracle. Every cubic inch of space is a miracle." And from Vincent van Gogh, the post-impressionist Dutch painter, "But I always think the best way to know God is to love many things." Welcome to our longest night evensong service at Ralph Connor Memorial United Church in this, the fourth week of Advent. As I stand in the warmth and beauty of the Ralph Connor Sanctuary on this, the longest night, winter solstice in the Northern Hemisphere, I am happy to welcome you to our service. I invite you to participate in whatever way is most meaningful and comfortable for you. This is the hour of turning, the hour of pause, and within it we stand quietly on the border of light. At this time of Advent, we pause to listen to the familiar carols. We pause to let the glorious harmonies wash over us. We pause to listen to words of promise and of comfort as we prepare for our celebration of Jesus' birth. We pause as we watch the days once again begin to lengthen, and as Christ's message of peace, hope, joy, and love is renewed in our hearts.
Creator, God of all creation, blessed are you in the rivers and mountains. Blessed are you in the whisper of the wind. Blessed are you who breathes yes to life. Creator, bless this sacred space. Bless this sacred time. Bless all who gather open to your presence. Creator, God of all creation, bless the indigenous peoples of Treaty 7, into whose sacred space our forebears came, changing forever a way of life. Bless all the peoples of Treaty 7. May our lives flow with harmony, love, and deep respect. Creator, God of all, may we be open to your presence, seeing you in all peoples, seeing you in all creation.
We gather today at the conjunction of the winter solstice and the fourth and final week of the Advent Christmas season. Our spirits begin to lift as we anticipate the days of growing light and the birth of Christ, the light of the world. The word solstice combines the Latin word sol for sun and sistera for to stand still. 6 months ago, here on the 51st parallel of north latitude, The nights began to grow progressively longer. At first we may hardly notice as we enjoy the long, lazy days of summer. However, by mid-November, as the lengthening nights continue, I suspect we are all looking forward eagerly to the upcoming solstice, when the sun ceases to sink in the sky and briefly stands still before beginning to rise again. And our spirits often begin to rise again too. The winter solstice is often said to be a time of new beginnings. We say goodbye to a long period of self-reflection and welcome the sun's fiery energy, propelling us forward to spiritual enlightenment. Advent in the church calendar is the period leading up to Christmas and the celebration of Jesus' birth. Neither Christmas nor Advent were part of the Christian year for the first generations of Christians. Christmas Day on December 25th was adopted by the Western Church some 350 years after Christ's birth. The first formal mention of Advent in a church synod came in the year 380. We know that the season was widely accepted a century later. Advent was a 6-week period of fasting and abstinence. Actual Advent practices evolved. By around the year 1400 in the Western Church, the Advent season lasted for 4 weeks as a period of abstinence, although fasting norms seem to have been restricted largely to the clergy. Our modern, more celebratory version of Advent might well be dated to about the year 1840 in Germany, when the Christmas wreath and lighting of candles to mark Advent were introduced into weekly church services. Spiritually, this is the time when we anticipate the coming of Christ and prepare to celebrate his birth in Bethlehem. Each week of Advent, we contemplate the deepest divine and human qualities of hope and peace, love and joy, as symbolized in 4 candles, while we await the lighting of the Christ candle on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. In some interpretations, the flames of the candles represent the Christmas light approaching and bringing with it hope and peace, joy and love, as well as symbolizing the struggle against darkness. On this, the longest night, the last week of Advent, we celebrate in word, song, meditation, and prayer the first rays of returning light to the darkness of our skies and the birth of Christ, the light of our spiritual world.
We light the Advent candle of love, the love that brings us together, this one immaculate love that is the energy of all creation. Even this late it happens, the coming of love, the coming of light, You wake, and the candles are lit as if by themselves. Stars gather, dreams pour into your pillows, sending up warm bouquets of air.
A reading from the Bible, Psalm 89, verse 1. I will sing of thy steadfast love, O Lord, forever. I will sing of thy steadfast love, O Lord, forever. We reflect in this service on light entering the darkness, on our passage at winter solstice from the days of growing darkness into the days of growing light, on the birth of Christ, the light and love of the world. I would like to suggest that we take a short moment now for a period of guided meditation. So I invite you to settle wherever you are, at home in front of the television or listening to this, in a quiet place. Relax your body, close your eyes, breathe deeply. Let your shoulders relax, your neck, your jaw, and breathe deeply. Slide gently into a dark and peaceful place. Breathe deeply. Let go of those obsessive, often trivial thoughts that have been taking over your mind. As you breathe deeply, remember that you are not alone in this dark, peaceful place. It is telling that we often need solitary meditation in order to realize this. In our Western Christian tradition, we know that God is always with us. His presence, His understanding, and His love surround us always. In Eastern traditions, we realize that we are part of the great web of interbeing. Everything is here, now. Breathe deeply. Let light enter the darkness. Breathe deeply. Everything is here, now. Breathe deeply. The love of God surrounds you.
A poem by Bernadette Miller. Light. I want to write of the light, but I do not know whether words can illuminate the way it hangs upon branches and bird wings and broken things, returning beings to beauty. Can words spin substance from sunshine and decay? Can words cajole celebration from night-weary birds? Can words warm surfaces of stones and sorrows? Can words reveal richness in mundane and battered things? I do not know. But if we would write a tomorrow which is wider than wounds we have worn, we might wield words like benediction and remember blessings within brokenness, beginnings within endings, and beauty within all things.
When rosy eastern star, bluebirds came from afar, on golden light came gliding, with one melodious voice, they sweetly did rejoice, and sang the wondrous tidings. Sang
We often find ourselves at times in the dark, good or evil or in between, of our own or another's making. Our work is to name the darkness for what it is, and to find what it asks of us, and to be willing to follow its dark labyrinth as we wait for darkness to teach us what we need to know. In these Advent days of darkness and waiting, it may indeed seem that God's face is hidden from our sight. But sacred presence is near. Sacred presence is here, breathing in the shadows.
celebrate.